Hello, everybody. It's Crazy Mrs. J is here to teach about punctuating and capitalizing titles. We are using to seek, and when we start to give evidence, it's important that we talk about the author and the title of the text that we're getting our evidence from. So let's make sure we know how to punctuate and capitalize. So what is a title? It's the name of a book, a composition, or other artistic work. The author and the title of the book is used in a fragment there. Here's a list of titles you have read or watched this year and last. I want you to notice that there are most of the words are capitalized. I also want you to, notice that it's not just the first one. There's other ones too. I also want you to notice the quotation marks, the underline, and what we call italics down here at the bottom. Those are some things we have to do with titles. I also want you to notice that there's no periods at the end here. We do not put titles, we do not put periods in titles. Very seldom do we do that. There have been cases where they are necessary. Sometimes we use question marks and sometimes we use exclamation marks, but very rarely. So you'll notice that none of these have punctuation. Okay, so I said there's no period because it is not a complete thought, like a sentence. A sentence is a complete thought, so it gets a period. So first we'll talk about capitalization. It's always important to remember that you capitalize the first word, the last word, and all the important words. The first word, the last word, and all the important words. Okay, so this will be almost every word in between except, and here is a list of the exceptions. Articles like un, and the. Prepositions, I don't know if you remember in the box, on the box, around the box, by the box. Okay, as, by, for, in, of, on, and to are the prepositions. Notice that they are 2 letters or 3 letters only, short prepositions. And also short conjunctions. Conjunction, junction, what's your function? Okay, so, I'm sorry, I had to sing. I don't know if you have learned fanboys in 4th grade. That stands for, and, nor, but, or, yet, and so. Those are your conjunctions. Notice that those are 3 letters or less, and we do not capitalize those. Okay, so words that are not capitalized are usually words that contain 1 to 3 letters. You'll notice here, by, and for. The thing is, there are other words that are 2 letters that need to be capitalized. Like, let's say a guy's name is Ty, capital T-Y. So you have to capitalize them if they are nouns, verbs, adjectives, and adverbs. If they are the articles, prepositions, and conjunctions like by, and for, no capitalize. Okay, here's some examples. Thunder Rolling in the Mountains by Scott Odell, the book we just finished. You'll notice the first word is capitalized, the last word is capitalized, and the important word rolling is capitalized. But the unimportant words in and the are not. The song album, The Tortured Poets Department by Taylor Swift. The is capitalized because it's the first word. Department is capitalized because it's the last word. And the important words tortured and poets are capitalized. Notice there's no unimportant words in this one. And then we have the song, Sign of the Times by Harry Styles. The first word is capitalized, the last word is capitalized, and there are no other important words. So these are a preposition and an article, so we just leave them uncapital, lowercase. So practice. Which words need to be capitalized in this book title? There's a boy in the girls' bathroom. You in your table decide. Pause the video and decide. Okay, here's the answer. The first, the last, and the important words are boy and girls. Next one, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. You and your group decide. Stop. Okay, here's the answer. The first word, the last word, and the important words are Potter and sorcerers. And the are not important. You might notice all capital letters on the cover of some books, like this one, see, and the Sorcerer's Stone. This is okay for the publisher of the book to do that, but it is not okay for you as a student when writing about Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone to write in all caps. So, next one, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Pause your video and you decide. Here's the answer. The. But we said the isn't an important word, but it's the first word. So the first word is always capitalized, the last word is always capitalized, and the important words here are lion and witch. The rest of the words are not important, so we keep them lowercase. Okay, so now that we know when to capitalize, let's talk about underlining. We only underline large or long works that can sit on the shelf. So works that can sit on the shelf would be books, magazines, movies, plays, music albums, newspapers, works of art, long poems. And there's a video next and I'll show you what that means. If the piece is large enough to be organized by sitting on the shelf, we need to underline it. I want you to imagine the shelf as the line underneath the title. Watch this video and it will explain. I hope it starts right away. It's been about time. Okay. Oh, I don't want to listen again. Okay. Sorry about that. But let me go to the next one. Move. Okay. So then when do we use quotation marks? Quotation marks are used to show the words an author uses in evidence, and we've learned that, but we also use quotation marks in titles. So we use quotation marks around smaller works or parts of a complete work. So book chapters, songs on a song album, poems in a book, or articles in a newspaper or magazine. Now watch this movie or film or video or whatever it is. We're waiting. Okay, so let's practice. Which titles need to be underlined because they are larger works? So we have A, the article, Fortnite, B, the book, The Phantom Tollbooth, or C, the song Anti-Hero. Pause your video and decide. Okay, the answer is B, the book, The Phantom Tollbooth. That's a book we're going to be reading next. Okay, the next one. Which titles need to be underlined because they are larger works? A, the magazine Sports Illustrated, B, the poem Monsters I've Met by Shel Silverstein, or C, the music album Short and Sweet by Sabrina Carpenter. Pause your video and decide. Go. Your answer? There's two of them. The magazine can sit on the shelf and so can the album. Okay, so you're going to work together as a group on this worksheet here called Quotation and Underlining Titles Worksheet. So let's read the directions here. Read each sentence below and underline or put quotation marks around the literary work title. So first you have to decide what is the title. So underline titles of major works when you write them in a sentence. Smaller works are put in quotation marks. I want you to notice in the directions, it tells you put quotation marks around poems, short stories, songs, essays, and articles. So pay attention to that. Okay, so here's an example. Here's number one. We read The Hunger Games by Susan Collins. So as a group, I want you to decide which words in this sentence are the title. I already gave you the answer. It's The Hunger Games. So just use a highlighter and highlight the title. Then decide if the title is a large work or a small work. If it is large, you underline it. If it is small, you put quotation marks around it. You are to work on it together, and when you are finished, you are to correct it. So pause the video now and do the worksheet. Okay, now that you have completed the worksheet, using a colored pen, correct your own paper. You can use a red pen out of the drawer, or you can use a marker in your caddy. Put an X next to incorrect answers only. At the top of your paper, count how many you have correct, not wrong, correct, and put it in a fraction over the number 10. So let's say that you mark 2 wrong. You would write 8 out of 10, and then turn your paper in where your teacher has told you to do so. Okay, here are the answers. Number 1, The Hunger Games is a book or a movie. It can be underlined. Number 2, the article, What's for Lunch? It's an article, and it says up here that articles get quotation marks. Number 3, To Kill a Mockingbird is a book. It gets underlined. Number 4, Charles is a short story. It says right here, short stories get quotation marks around them. Snow White is the movie that can sit on the shelf, so it gets underlined. Number 6, The Wizard of Oz is a television movie, so it can sit on the shelf, so it gets underlined. The poem, Paul Revere's Ride. Notice here it says poems, get quotation marks. Number 8, the poem, Mother to Son. It says up here, the poems get quotation marks. Number 9, The Road Not Taken is a poem, so it gets quotation marks. And lastly, number 10, Cars is a movie, so it can sit on the shelf. It gets underlined. Hope you did well.